Hello and welcome, dear viewers, to a new episode of To The Point live on Nile TV International. I'm Karim Gamal. I'm going to be your host for tonight, and tonight's topic is marking the 30th of June revolution, a turning point, of course, in the history of the Egyptian nation, where the Egyptians took to the streets to reject the power of evil led by the terrorist Brotherhood organization. And ever since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi took the helm of the country, and under his leadership, several projects were accomplished, infrastructure development in various aspects, and this will be our topic of discussion for tonight. And for tonight, we're most delighted and honored to be joined here in the studio by Dr. Nevine Nakhla, a human development expert and a doctorate in business administration. A very good evening, Dr. Nevine, and thank you so much for joining us on To The Point.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Doctor, as I mentioned in my introduction, June 30th revolution is just around the corner. If you can walk us through the major accomplishments that have been made ever since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi took the helm and the leadership of the country.
Yes, first of all, of course, we are very honored and happy with our beloved President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and as I always say, he's like the savior for Egypt, and he saved us from a lot of evil and a lot of bad things, and he's still doing a lot with his vision and with his will and real work on the ground. Not only strategic plans, but dreams that they are coming true on the ground for everyone.
Yes.
And if we want to take like a roadmap or take a quick view on everything and all the aspects, he didn't leave a person, he didn't leave an Egyptian without empowering and supporting and doing real reforms in all aspects, economically, politically, legally, socially, and to all levels and to all the minorities and everyone in the country. If we look to the empowerment of women and the great things done for Egyptian women, as we are 48% of the population, we are half the population. You see our lovely 8 ministries, ministers doing great work, very representable and very active and very really clever and professional. If you see the 27% in the parliament, if you see the governors and every part of the country, you see women are really empowered and really taking the lead and in a place of decision making. If you look to youth and you see the empowerment of youth and you see His Excellency, our beloved President, sitting with the youth and talking to them, listening to them, and giving them the power to do things to their country. One example, the initiative, the great national initiative, the biggest initiative in the Middle East and Africa, the Decent Life Initiative, which is supporting and developing the countryside of Egypt and the villages of Egypt. Around 58 million Egyptians are going to benefit from this great initiative. And of course, this initiative was a youth initiative that he supported, and it became the biggest national project in Egypt.
Yes, and to dig also deeper into the accomplishments and in light, of course, of the most important presidential initiatives, Takaful and Karama is also another important initiative providing social protection for millions of vulnerable families, and we've seen under the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Ministry of Social Solidarity, and Her Excellency, of course, the very energetic Dr. Nevine al-Qabbaj is doing an excellent and outstanding job in monitoring and following up on this initiative.
Yes, and to go back to women, Takaful and Karama, around 70% are women, people who are women who are benefiting from it.
Yes.
And now with the new project of family development project, which
Yes.
is coming out of the pipeline very soon, this project will like complete the whole support and the whole empowerment for the Egyptians who are in need. And if you see the Takaful and Karama now, they are mingling it, or I mean, they are putting it together with another project in the Social Solidarity, Ministry of Social Solidarity, which is called Forza program.
Yes.
And this is to change the women from the protection to the economically empowerment, and to give them economical empowerment and projects to start working. It's not only protection by Takaful and Karama, giving them money at the end of the month because they are under the poverty line. No, now they are literacy is mandatory to illiterate, to give them how to read and write, and also vocational training or training on how to do your business. Also, this program is a great program. They are going to each and every village of a Decent Life initiative, in it Takaful and Karama, and they are giving them the culture of work and the empowerment of work, and also giving them some small projects.
Yes.
Of course,
not to mention the efforts of the National Council for Women to the working on the labor force working on the ground to reach the most vulnerable and the most marginalized nationwide across the 27 governorates to eradicate illiteracy, as you have kindly mentioned, along other financial inclusion as well.
Yes.
Many efforts are being done.
Digital for the little bit more educated, the digital transformation, and putting them all in one system, so you can serve them perfectly. Yes. Also, in many villages, they started doing the ID for people who were not interested or who were not aware of the importance of IDs, and a lot of work.
Yes.
Also, it's good to mention one of the very nice projects as well, the Ra'idat Rifiyat, which is the women villagers, and they are like women from the village, and they are very highly educated, and they take like TOT, train the trainer. Then they are sent to their villages to support
and to act as ambassadors of change.
Exactly, ambassadors of change and awareness. Awareness, also family planning, a lot of subjects and a lot of...
Yes, indeed. Also, another important initiative that is worth, of course, shedding the light on, Dr. Nevine, is the 100 million Healthy Lives initiative. This is on the health aspect and reaching all Egyptians and even knocking on doors. We have seen the campaign nationwide doing a great effort, and if you can also elaborate on that.
Yes, this initiative supported us a lot, especially after having the COVID-19. You had all the documented data of everyone, and it went through all the 27 governorates, checking on the virus C and giving
early detection,
free medication for the virus C, which was very expensive for most of the people.
Yes.
Also blood pressure, also the
diabetes, hypertension,
and the BMI, the overweight, and
measuring the body mass index.
The body mass index. Also, one great initiative also for women is the early detection of the breast cancer. And we all know people that they discovered and they were cured because of this great initiative to support women as well.
Yes.
So as you see, 8 years are full of reform and support and development in all areas.
Yeah.
If you see also, if you allow me to go to the digital transformation
Yes,
of
for
Egypt
sure.
and the Ministry of Communication and Information
Egypt
Technology.
has gone a milestone in this regard.
And of course, because of the reform and because of the vision and the strategic planning, with the COVID-19, it was easy for the students, school students and university students. Everyone could go online because of
access the knowledge bank and a lot of
knowledge.
resources. Yes.
Exactly. Also, there is a great initiative which is the digital transformation for youth and the digital transformation for school kids.
Yes.
And for the school kids, they choose the top achievers in schools, and they give them freely scholarships and a lot of summer scholarships. Even the Ministry of Communication and Technology, they do great digital transformation for all the governorates, and they give the people who are in this scholarship, they give them money.
Yeah.
They give them £1,000 per course, so it's not only you are taking it free.
There's an allowance as well.
There is an allowance to allow you to leave what you're doing and go and attend. And especially with the fiber optics and a lot of courses, the fiber optics, the technicians are really needed in the Decent Life initiative, in the infrastructure of the
Dr. Nevine, speaking about infrastructure as part of the Decent Life initiative, which is a very important and the cross-cutting initiative, the development of 1,500 villages and providing them with the basic services and needs. How do you see this when it comes to the development and reaching the keenness of the political leadership in Egypt, led by President Fattah al-Sisi, to reach the most vulnerable and the most underprivileged citizens?
What can I say more than our beloved president? He's very human and he's very strategic, and he really listened to the people and their need. And he was not just putting strategies. No, he went and saw the execution of everything by himself. If you remember him going to El Marajda in Ina and going to Aswan after the floods and visiting people in their houses and seeing the initiative, how it's going, and following up on each and every detail. The initiative is a miracle in the lives of the underserved or the needy people. We had people, we had all days, we had people, they didn't know what is a bathroom. They didn't know what is a door or to have
having access to clean water even.
So he's giving people real decent life.
Yes.
With all what it means from the infrastructure, from human development, the amount of awareness, the amount of work done in these two initiatives, Decent Life Initiative and also the coming of the family, the Egyptian Family Development Project, it's tremendous. It's a miracle.
Yes, indeed.
And
Doctor, speaking about miracles, there were two crises that the whole world faced that definitely impacted the economies, but the Egyptian government stood in the face of these challenges, namely the COVID-19 pandemic and, of course, the Ukrainian-Russian war. How do you see the efforts exerted by the government to ease the economic challenges on the Egyptian citizen and to ease the burden on the citizens that were suffering from this, as the whole world has suffered?
Yeah, as we were saying, the reforms and the seriousness and the collaboration and all the ministries were working in the same vision and the same strategic plan. Everyone was working in the reform, even the legally and on the ground, I mean. So having this reform prior to any crisis, it gave us like a shield to the crisis. As we were talking about the digital transformation and the tablet for the students and doing more fiber optics, doing more internet. So this is part that helped us a lot in the crisis of COVID-19, and even the work, people were working from home and they could access easily the internet, and this was one thing. The other thing regarding the crisis, which is now with the Ukrainian and Russian, you see also a lot of reforms. I recall one of the meetings, His Excellency was telling the Prime Minister, if you find small workshops working, like we say, under the table, or they are not legally operating, please don't close them. Just take them to the new hubs, take them and legalize their work.
Rectify the situation.
And thank them that they're trying to work and they have the culture of work. So if they have this culture of work and they don't know how to go legal, just help them, give them a hand and support them. Also, you see the big logistic hubs that are taking place in all over Egypt, from Suez Canal to... also one thing which is very important, to show how much His Excellency, he listens and he sees the people. We had a problem of the unofficial businesses and the unofficial, or the people working
not registered,
and especially women, handicrafts, and people who are working and they are not registered. Now the rule is coming, a law is coming out very soon. His Excellency announced that people now, they can work from their home and they can register online their companies, and they can issue invoices, taxed invoices from their homes. And he assured people that this is not because we want to take more taxes from you. No, we will exempt you. There are like 9 industries or something, they'll be exempted from taxes, especially the green and
to promote the green economy.
The green economy. And he allowed the unofficial businesses and the small, the micro businesses that they couldn't afford renting a place, or the documentation and the registration. He told them, we don't want this from you. You just register online in a hub and work from your homes, but work. Produce. Also the encouragement of exportation. A lot of reforms, a lot of fairs, a lot of the Ministry of...
the national industry is indeed booming.
Exactly. Our cotton is back to its place. Worldwide, our production. So a lot is taking place.
Dr. Nevine, 9 years on, how do we reflect on where the country was on the verge of collapse, and seeing a new republic as named by His Excellency President Sisi, and leading by example to all neighboring countries, and being a hub for development and production, and on all fronts we're seeing progress is made?
The New Republic is not a slogan. The New Republic is taken place and it's happening on the ground. You can see the new capital city and how it is the green and the smart city. You can see Alamein city and
New Mansoura, New Damietta.
New Minya, a lot of new places, and I want you to also to shed light on the Asmarat
Village, yes.
village. Uh, we were just doing something in the Asmarat village for women.
Yeah, when we go there now, we see courts.
Amazing,
Yes.
amazing. And people at the beginning, they were not coping, but the amount of awareness and human development, not only infrastructure development, but His Excellency is very much keen, he and all the ministries, they are very much keen and on the right track for the human development and for the awareness and for the bringing back the old culture and the old taste and even the visual the visual of the plantation and
civilized and a very cheerful community.
Exactly, exactly.
Also, Dr. Nevine, speaking about the infrastructure, a lot of billions of pounds were invested in the infrastructure, and we have seen Cairo and all the governorates transformed into a developed and with proper infrastructure, and also we're seeing work being done to have a full transportation network. The impact of this on citizens and also on attracting foreign investment to the country.
Okay, this is, of course, it's very important. If you want to really produce and export, if you want to do any business, you need to have an infrastructure. If you want to have foreign investment, you have to have the infrastructure. Now you can move goods from Sukhna to Alexandria now much easier and much cheaper. You can go across the country easily and fast. With the new, also the coming very soon, the new monorail and the fast train and all these things, not only for people, also for products and goods. This is very important because how can you ask foreign investment or even local investment to move goods from one port to another or from one city to another or to distribute their products? Or so also the new industrial hubs that they are scattered all over the country with the new map of industrial hubs. If you talk about this area, you cannot stop from the achievements and the great things done. In this aspect.
Dr. Nevine, also as you have kindly mentioned that women represent a large portion of the Egyptian society, also no one can deny that youth are also a majority of this population, and a lot of efforts have been exerted by the Egyptian government to empower youth. Just to name an important initiative, the Presidential Leadership Program, and also several World Youth Forums, top of the line, world-class conferences and summits bringing together youth from across Egypt and Africa and the whole world to discuss new ideas, to listen from entrepreneurs, success stories, the empowerment of the Egyptian youth, which represent an integral role of this society. How do you see this?
Also, youth are very lucky. We are a very young population. Our median age is 26, so we have really young population. 60% of the Egyptian population nearly are youth. And of course, they are very lucky to have a lot of initiatives and a lot of support and empowerment from His Excellency. Not only the Youth Forum and not only the PLP, the Presidential Leadership Program, but so many other initiatives for youth and a full ecosystem of entrepreneurship and support.
Incubators,
accelerators, angel investment, a lot mentoring, a lot of support for startups and for youth, and a lot of giving them the real hand financially, Also, you see a lot of financial initiatives for them with only 5% decreased interests. You have a lot of prototypes, like the TIC, the ETIDA. They're doing great with the youth in their startups and their initiatives, and with a lot of mentors. Also, a lot of universities, a lot of scholarships, giving them, even universities now, it's not only, even the scientific universities now, they are not giving them only the subjects. No, they are very careful about giving them soft skills, communication skills, a lot of empowerment to do their businesses and to know how to present themselves, public speak, a lot of soft skills and a lot of human development for these youth. And also giving them a lot of knowledge. A lot of universities, if you look how many universities opened in Egypt during the last few years, the last 3-4 years. The Knowledge Hub in the new capital city, and in 6th of October, and even a lot of areas, universities from countries by name, and universities by technology, even the universities of vocational training and technicians and
capacity building.
Capacity building,
yes. Also, Dr. Nevine, about we have spoken about success on several fronts. Relentless efforts are being exerted. What do you think, in your opinion, are the current challenges facing us, and how to overcome them?
Okay, before we talk about the challenges, we forgot to mention something very important, the empowerment and the support to the special needs.
Yes.
If you look at the special needs and the amount of work done for them and for their families, and from medical convoys by Decent Life Initiative as well, for opening centers for hearing aids, for all the support for the special needs, even the Takaful and Karama, the monthly support for
indeed,
special needs.
there is keenness from the leadership to fully integrate the differently abled in the society, and to become positive and successful role models. We have seen the president himself being inspired by a few of those successful models on different occasions.
Yes, to go back to the challenges, I think the most important challenge we are facing, and His Excellency is working on it very strategically, is of course the family planning. The increase of the number of the population
is exploding.
Yes, this will eat any success and will eat any resources. Especially that people who are doing this, or who are cause of this, mainly they are not the highly educated people, they are the needy people. So a lot of awareness in this area, and I think the new project, the family development of the Egyptian family project,
one of its main objectives is to increase and raise the awareness among the families about the negative impacts of having several children without having the capacity of compensating or accommodating this
amount of kids.
Yes.
Also, there is something in this initiative that His Excellency said that they are going to do like an incentive for women if they reach 40 and they have only 2 kids. After I don't know how many years, they're going to take like a 60,000 Egyptian pounds. There is something incentive, there is something about this to really give real incentive, and thank you for the women who followed
any other challenges that you see needs more attention?
I always say a wish, not a challenge, my personal wish, that we have mandatory for our youth that they are not graduated from the university except when they serve for a number of hours. Okay, a lot of initiatives for volunteers with the social solidarity. Of course, the Ministry of Dr. Hala Said is doing a great initiative for volunteers.
Yes, of course, the Egyptian Red Crescent, of course.
And the Egyptian Red Crescent, the 100
yeah.
million, 100 million
healthy lives. Yeah, they're part of, and also on several occasions we have seen the Egyptian Red Crescent supporting the people on weather disasters or even supporting other countries.
And first aid.
Yes.
And first aid.
Yes.
And also the Dr. Hala Said, they have the big initiative of ambassadors of 2030, the ambassadors of
Egypt's vision.
Yes. And also the social solidarity, they have another program for volunteers, but still not enough. You need every young man or woman to really volunteer. And I think if they do a rule that no one will be graduated from university except by having a month of their life, 16 years of education, just 1 month for volunteering and servicing, this will make the youth, of course, happier. The morals are better when you serve and when you see people and you're engaging them in serving, and it's good for them. Definitely. And it's good for the country, and it's good for everyone.
Win-win situation.
Win-win situation.
Yes, indeed. Also, Dr. Nevine, we want to talk about the accomplishments that have been made when it comes to the Egyptian economy. A lot has been made, and efforts to mitigate the negative impact of the global crisis of the COVID and the Ukrainian-Russian war. What examples do we set to other countries and other neighboring countries facing this challenge that Egypt can lead by example?
A lot of reforms economically and mainly the production, and encouraging people to make more production, make more factories, a lot of new factories. If I remember correct, in the last year there were like 50,000 new registered startups and factories. And of course these, they gave job creations of 2.5 million job creations. So
also the government, I believe, sorry to jump in, the micro, small and medium enterprises.
Exactly, and all the support to this sector, as we said, the incubator, all the ecosystem for this sector, the MSMEs.
Yes.
A lot of support to them, and the new rules of making them, they can register online, they can work from home, they don't have to be a big with many employees. So a lot of economical reforms and a lot of initiatives, a lot of support from the banks, support from the government, support from the Ministry of Industry.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Dr. Nevine, also another important occasion coming up very soon, later in November, the COP27. All the world the world leaders will be here in the city of Love and Peace, Sharm el-Sheikh. The efforts of the Egyptian government to follow up on and implement the recommendations of the COP26 in Glasgow, and where have we gone when it comes to the climate-friendly and the green environment solutions?
Yes, a lot has gone, of course, and as you see, the whole country is revolving now and
embracing clean energy and reducing the harmful emissions as much as possible. We have seen hybrid cars, electric cars. The state is encouraging such transformation.
Even the government transportation, you
Yes.
see the buses now.
Yeah, we
they
have
are
seen the Prime Minister. Yeah.
Yes, the green buses, and a lot of reform, also a lot of things taking place in this aspect. Also, a lot of support for the small and medium enterprises if they do the projects, their projects in the clean and green industries. And this is doing great also to the whole community. Even in villages, a lot of small projects are done. You see the solar panels.
Yeah, and Bimban solar plant. That's one of a kind.
One of a kind. So regarding this area, we are booming
Yes.
looking forward very much for the COP27 and.
Yes. Also, Dr. Nevine, about one of the main sectors attracting foreign currency is the tourism industry. And also we're lucky enough to be seeing in the past period great archaeological discoveries. We've seen tombs that are discovered intact. Your opinion, the impact of this on the tourism industry, which has been hardly hit, not only in Egypt, but worldwide because of this crisis.
Yeah, of course, COVID-19
has taken its toll.
Yes, yes. But still, Egypt has its taste, Egypt has its culture, Egypt has the pyramids and has all the history. Also, we have the tourism of the health tourism, which is starting to boom in Egypt as well. So of course the branding and the marketing and the showing of these new things, new discoveries is very important, and shedding the light in the right way is very important.
And organizing world-class events as the Golden Parade, which was broadcasted live on hundreds of channels internationally. I believe this would have an impact as well.
Yes, with the real Egypt, with the real culture and the real history. So it's all about also branding and marketing, and don't forget something very important: the security of Egypt. Now we are one of the most secured countries in the world, and this security and this peace and this the people are kind and the people are welcoming foreigners, and this is a message also for foreign tourism to Egypt.
Yes. So. Also, we and this is an opportunity to reiterate on the efforts exerted by the Egyptian leadership on this front. Back in 2013, as I mentioned in my introduction, the Egyptian nation rejected the power of evil, and in this regard, the Egyptian security forces and of course the armed forces, the savior of this nation, have played a great role in stabilizing, securing and stabilizing the country, and also safeguarding its borders from any foreign threats, especially that we're seeing a lot of in the region, a lot of issues and security challenges.
Yes, yes. Egypt is always the most secured place for everyone since history. Very welcoming to everyone, and I mean, as we said, our beloved president, he saved the country, and everything is going in the right track in all aspects and in all industries. And
yes. Dr. Nevine, as we're wrapping up, I'd like to listen to your closing remarks.
I'm very happy and looking forward for this coming year with the great new initiatives that is putting all Egypt together in one hand. The new talk, the new political talk, the Hawar al-Watani, the national dialogue, which is listening to everyone and making everyone equal. closing the gaps. Egypt is closing the gaps between everyone,
The
women,
sects of
men,
society,
all political parties, everything. So, I mean, I'm looking forward very much. We are all looking forward very much for this coming year. I'm sure by the end of 2022, we'll be sitting here and stating more achievements, especially that our beloved president, he's very fast and he acts very fast.
Indeed.
So I'm sure the coming few months will be very positive.
Happy June 30th, Dr. Nevine, to you and to all our dear viewers. Dr. Nevine Nakhla, human development expert and a doctorate in business administration. We really appreciate your insight and thank you so much for being with us on To The Point.
Thank you. Happy 30th June.
Thank you. And dear viewers, by this we wrap up tonight's episode of To The Point live on Nile TV International. We hope that you've enjoyed it and stay tuned as a lot more is still coming up on Nile TV International. Signing off, this is Karim Gamal Eddin and this is goodbye.